Nithyananda. Let's start the manifesting power session with the Sadguru Vandanam. Let's sit straight, visualize Bhagavan in the third eye and start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, welcome to Sri KAILASA Courtyard Manifesting Power Session. Today, such a beautiful day. Bhagwan has given us the darshan and such beautiful boons of how we can exist as an enlightened civilization. Now we'll go through the understanding of power manifestation first, and then we will have the manifesting of Shaktis. So first I would like to share with you the beautiful 5 faces of Paramashiva. Swamiji beautifully says, Paramashiva is real and all the 5 actions which are combined is constantly happening in our inner space and which is creating our reality. And once we understand the greater existence of us, we will be simply manifesting the space of enlightenment in all of us. The 5 faces of Paramashiva, the Shrishti, which is the manifestation. They call it Satyojata, west side, the earth element, which is a manifestation, creation. Life is all about manifestation, whether we are making a coffee, whether we are talking or taking a video, everything is a creation. Constantly we are creating. And such a beautiful space that has to be sustained, that is Shishti. Vamadeva, the north substance, which is the water element. So from earth element, it becomes the water element, sustenance. Then next is the Samhara. Some part which are dead has to be removed and new, it has to be created for new things to come in. That clearly shows us that we come on planet Earth to experience, not to possess, to take responsibility, not to take the attachment. So regeneration has to happen. How in our body the cells migrate and new cells happen, and literally our body is regenerated every year, completely every cell. We become a new person. Constantly when the cells are happening new, how we are copying our old patterns in it. If we understand that we don't have to copy the old pattern, Swamiji simply says we'll be always 16 like Paramashiva. We'll know how to recreate our body just as the sweet 16 that we were, with same energy, same space of enlightenment continuously. So the regeneration is where the life again and again happens. Throbhava, the Tatpurusha, the east side, which is the air element. The regeneration is the fire element, which is the Guru component itself. It takes the air and water and it takes the earth and water, and makes it to air and ether space itself. Each one has a component, a dimension. Earth is a length dimension. Water is a breadth dimension. Regeneration is the depth. The plants have only the one length component. The animals have the muscle memory and biomemory, which is the next breadth dimension. We have the depth component. The depth component, Swamiji beautifully explains, that how a carbon, when it's intensified, becomes diamond. This regeneration, again and again, letting it happen without affecting our inner space. Simply, we will understand the change is the only change which is happening in us constantly, which does not affect us, but it is happening as auspiciousness. So that is the fire element, which is the depth. When it gets solidified, when we start unclutching continuously, it gets into the space of enlightenment itself. The next is pulling us out of delusion. Trubhava, Tat Purusha, the air element, the breath. Swamiji beautifully explains how the breathing, when we breathe in and breathe out, there is a gap between the breath. When the thought reduces, we start understanding the gap, and more we are in the present, breathing with the presence, really listening to the breath. We are able to be in the gap between the breath and simply dissolve the mind. The Tat Purusha, the pulling us out of delusion, happens so beautifully, Swamiji says. And the ultimate thing, once we are ready out of the delusion, when we commit, we are out of delusion, completely out of delusion. I am Paramashiva. When we declare, when we take the responsibility, the Anugraha, the Ishana space, the etheric space, the Hiranya Garbha of Paramashiva, where all this happens continuously. The 5 dimension of universe into one another crisscrosses and making a permutation and combination with one another, and 25 actions constantly is happening inside us. The 25 phase of Paramashiva is the now, is the Kala, which is happening again and again without any gap for zillions of years. And we exist eternal. Each one of us exists eternal, Nityatva. And if we understand this science and we are ready for liberation, simply when we understand the devotion, gratitude, Bhagavan simply liberates us into the Ishana himself. We become one in oneness with Paramashiva. The beautiful 5 faces of Paramashiva, which becomes the 25 actions in us, and we simply be liberated. If we understand these greater truth in life, we'll be simply liberated from our cognitions. Today we will be understanding you want to take a picture? Wait. Yes, go ahead. The 5 phases, actions of Paramashiva. Thank you, ma'am. How we have the scientific proof for everything in life. Pratyaksha Paramana. Like that we can share this slide, ma, no problem. I'll ask them to post the slide for you. This is a time tested for years, lakhs of years. All these are tested. We still don't know how long back all these Upanishads are written. 10,000 years, 20,000 years before all these are written, as long as humans are available, Rishis, Munis, great insights in them, have downloaded this great things for us. That is why it is eternal and unchangeable truth. Shastra Pramana. The word is Shastra. Shastra means the scriptures. Shastra Pramanas. From the scriptures, the Veda Agama. About 2000 verses Swamiji has picked up for us to manifest about 200 powers, and he has given us clearly each verse, the explanation and the truth. When we start understanding this truth as our reality and becomes a cognition in us by trusting completely, we'll be able to manifest the powers. So the first is the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana is the result of the Aptas, the authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis, the scientist or scientist who time tested and verified the science. The rishis, the munis, Nayanamars, great saints who has lived this beyond the human possibilities and as divine beings on planet Earth in human body. So that we know that in our human body also we can experience this great truth as our reality. Atma Pramana. Atma Pramana, any truth in Vedic culture, our Guru, God has come as Guru itself for us. Paramashiva, he has come down in physical body as Avatar Purush and gracing us and giving us the Diksha, initiation for us to manifest the great powers. But the scriptures say that he himself has to experience in physical body all these powers, and he himself has to go through as a human, and then only he is accepted as a guru. So he has taken the challenge to live in this human body, the biggest challenge, and experience as Leelas and tell us how we can manifest those powers in the human body. That is why God has to come in human body, because we understand only human body. Because if we say consciousness, we don't understand much. But if we understand a human person, we understand very close and we are able to relate very nicely. So that human body is required for us to get connected. The form which connects to the formless. So he himself has manifested all these powers again and again, telling us how we can live as divine God and goddesses, real God, with infinite powers and infinite intelligence. That is Atma Pramana. Shakshi Pramana. Now, all over the world, Swamiji has conducted hundreds and thousands of programs by now. And each program, all these great devotees who come, who have experienced these great truths and recorded it for us to really understand that it is possible in the human body. So thousands of people have experienced this power that we are going to start manifesting today. We'll start with the Shastra Pramana, and then the Apta Pramana will understand how Swamiji himself manifested, and we'll be the today Shakshi Pramana. So we are going to do the power of remote vision. These are Shaktis. Shaktis and Siddhis. Madhvet would like to clarify. These Shaktis are from the enlightened space. When we connect from the no thought zone, the gap between the thought, which is humanly possible, even as scientific they have found out, for few seconds, 4 to 6 seconds. In that gap, when we connect to the highest divine and Swamiji's initiations, presence, makes us manifest these great powers. That is Shakti. The glimpse of enlightenment is Shakti. Siddhi is one who does tapas in a remote place without food, water, under the sun, rain, everything in one leg and do a tapas. go beyond the mind by intensifying their possibilities physically, breaking them out of the body by such great tapas. Sorry, let me go again. March 16, 2011, Swamiji first spoke about remote vision in the Yoga Sutra. The Siddhis are somebody who does their own and they are able to do the tapas and get the Siddhis, but that would be a hindrance to their enlightenment. Shakti is from enlightenment space itself. When you connect to the living master who has experienced that and who has initiated you, and simply you will be able to experience in the presence of Bhagavan. So here, remote vision is something that you will start experiencing through your third eye, thousands of miles away in different time zones. You will be able to scan the house which you have never visited. So today we will start with the Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana. Now we are going to start with the Apta Pramana. Vyasa, he was a king, and in Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva 6, section 15, it has been said that Vyasa said, "O king, your sons and the other monarch have their hour arrived. Mustered in the battle, they will kill one another. O Bharata, their hour having come, they will all perish. Bearing in the mind the changes brought on by the time, do not yield your heart to grief. O king, if you wish to see them fighting in the battle, I will, O son, grant you the vision. Behold the battle." So Vyasa is telling the king that the battle is going to happen and everybody is going to perish. Do you want to see? This is from the Mahabharata, and Dhritarashtra replies back for that. "O best of regenerate Rishi, I like not to behold the slaughter of kingsmen. I shall, however, through your potency, hear of this battle minutely." Dhritarashtra says, "I do not want to see anything. The regeneration is happening. I know that. But I do not want to see. But if I can hear, that will be beautiful." So Vyasa continued. Upon his not wishing to see the battle, but wishing to hear, Vyasa, the Lord of boon, gave a boon to Sanjaya. So Sanjaya, "O king, will describe the battle to you. Nothing in the whole battle will be beyond this one's eye. Eduded one, O king." With a cosmic vision, Sanjaya will narrate the battle to you. He will have the knowledge of everything, manifest or concealed, happening by day or by night. Even that which is thought in his mind, Sanjaya shall know everything. Weapon will not cut him and excretion will not fatigue him. So he's saying Sanjaya will be the one who is going to reveal the whole truth. For 19 days, he gave this boon when the war was happening, just for 19 days. When we are initiated, we are going to be initiated forever. So Sanjaya gets this boon. And he starts narrating, including the Bhagavad Gita, which Krishna narrated to Arjuna. Because of this boon, he was able to hear, Sanjaya was able to hear this and narrate to Dhritarashtra. So this is from the Apta Pramana, how they use the remote vision to narrate what was happening, the situation which was happening during the Mahabharata war on planet Earth by human beings. Atma Pramana. Swamiji himself has experienced this with the great Narayana Swami, who has shown him many times things which are distant in a simple, like a mirror. He would make Swamiji experience this great truth wherever he is. So he learned the science from his guru, Mauna Swami, Narayana Swami, and simply started manifesting this power of remote vision from that time. Swamiji himself has beautifully recorded this many times from many disciples. When they ask any question, simply Swamiji would be able to see beyond and tell them and solve many devotees' problems just like that, because he has a complete vision of 360 degrees. And even as 12-year-old kid, he experienced the enlightenment, the first enlightenment experience, where he was able to see himself. He was able to experience himself, the oneness in everything, whether it is a stone or an ant or a human being or an animal or a tree. He was able to see that he is consciousness beyond the matter and experience that he is one with everything. How he feels under his skin, he feels exactly the same under everything. And he exists as consciousness as everything. Such a beautiful space Swamiji experiences. Here you need to understand very deeply the oneness, that experience that Swamiji experienced, that everything is one and the same. How, if for example, if you say there is clay, the clay can be made as a pot, clay can be made as a cup, as a plate, anything. But if you are stuck with a pot, you will only understand your body. But if you recognize that you are a clay, you can manifest anything. Always go to the source of our existence. We are consciousness. The air around us is consciousness. Everything that exists is consciousness. Even now, scientifically, they have proven that we are in an energy field. Everything is energy. Same way, when we recognize, cognize really that we are consciousness, we will be able to manifest all the powers. So here Swamiji recognizes that, and simply he says he was able to feel the oneness. What is oneness? Paramashiva made him as many to experience and celebrate the beautiful space. So here Swamiji says how if you take a clay dough or you take some dough and make cupcakes, all the cupcakes will taste the same thing. The quality is exactly one and the same. That's exactly, the quantity can be one large cupcake, one small cupcake, but the quality is one and the same. So what we are made of, the source material of humans, is the same thing, source material of a stone, source material of a tree, source material of animals and everything. The tree might have only muscle memory, so they do not have the pain body. Animal has a pain body because they have the bio memory. Humans have the amazing component called the bioenergy, Paramashiva inside us, the temple inside us. When we lit that temple inside us with the grace of Paramashiva, our Guru, simply we are enlightened. The darkness inside us disappears and we become the self-effulgent light. That is exactly how Swamiji reveals this great truth for us. Now the Shastra Pramana, we'll understand the Shastra Pramana, and from there we will start manifesting the powers. I'll play the Shastra Pramana.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of third eye awakening is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 34, Dharana 11. Kapalantarmanonyasya तिष्ठन्मीलितलोचनः क्रमेण मनसोदाढ्यात् लक्ष्ये लक्ष्यमुत्तमम् कपालान्तर्मनोन्यस्य तिष्ठन्मीलितलोचनः क्रमेण मनसोदाढ्यात् लक्ष्ये लक्ष्यमुत्तमम्.
So here in this Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, which is from Veda Agama Upanishads, it's called Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, and it is Dharana 11 and Sutra 34. Here beautifully Swamiji translates, Bhagavan translates, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind and inner space, one directly sees the ultimate goal by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source Paramashiva. Whenever you are experiencing the mind, the stability of the mind, that is when you, for example, in your dream, you have your body sleeping, but you create another body and your friend's body, everything you create, you have your own creation happening in your dream, even though all are sleeping. And you create it, and then when you wake up, you are very clear that dream was a dream. Same way here, the illusion and delusion. For example, if you see a rope and you say, oh snake, then you are in illusion. More, if you go beyond that and say, oh, I'm scared of snake, I'm very scared of what's happening, then you're deluded. There is nothing to fear, there is nothing to think there is a snake. It was just a rope. That is how in our life, our perception is completely wrong, Swamiji says. The way we perceive everything as something which is not us, that is the first main problem. Second, we think and we start imagining things, selective reality. That is how we exist. When we step out of that, unclutch it from completely illusion, delusion, how in the dream we unclutch and wake up and say, oh, that was a dream, I got an accident, but I'm not going to go to hospital and I'm not going to put a medicine. We are very clear. Same way, when we understand this is an illusion and delusion, it is completely a dream. When you wake up, you will understand the existential reality, which is very powerful. Continuously, the stability of the mind happens when you continuously unclutch. Swamiji beautifully gives us the word absolute unclutch. Again and again, from the understanding, life is just a dream. Everything that you're experiencing is just a dream. As long as we have thoughts, we are in delusion. But the delusion can be diluted when we unclutch from it and be in the oneness. What is oneness? Like I said, the example, the dough, clay, which is becoming pot or plate or cup, the quality is exactly one and the same. You understand everything, the air around you, the furniture around you, the book around you, everything is consciousness. The source of it is consciousness, and consciousness is one and the same. If suppose you have an electricity, that is for the fan, and that is for your computer, that is for the air conditioner, the electricity is one and the same. The whole thing functions because of the electricity. We function, we breathe because we have consciousness inside us. We don't remember and breathe. It is happening beyond us. Same thing, our existential reality is also happening beyond our stress, incompletions, whatever we are going through. But consciously, if we bring our awareness, the present moment, again and again, we will be able to manifest powers, manifest our reality by ourselves. So here in this sutra, Swamiji beautifully gives us the stability of the mind. When we understand and unclutch, and from that space of unclutch, when we connect to Swamiji in deep bhakti, Prabhu, Swamiji, Bhagwan, please make this as existential reality for me and let me be able to remotely see the houses that I'm scanning and manifest as powers. When we are in deep gratitude and deep bhakti, devotion, trust, we will be able to manifest as powers. When we are 2 years old, we did not ask, how do I know you're the mother? We just simply trusted completely 100%. Now again, when you trust your Guru, that he is happening in you as a manifest and making you understand the higher reality, and you have the gratitude completely, you will see flowering inside you also and manifest the powers. So this is the Shastra Pramana. Now we'll go to the instruction of what we are going to do now. If you have a pen, paper, and a partner, that will be wonderful. We are going to scan a remote place. You can scan for, I'll first tell you the instruction. Madhvit will tell you the instructions. After that, we'll get into the meditation and we will have the experience of manifesting the powers. So the first thing is, we'll scan for some objects in the house. Whatever Swamiji shows, you can pen it down. The minute you connect to the partner and their house, it should be a house or a place where you have never visited. And you can also see some unique feature in the house and note it down. You can see the color of the building, the facade of the building, and how many levels they have. These are some of the things which we could just make a note. You can make a note of these things. So you can literally put these questions into your inner space and Swamiji will reveal it for you. Whatever Shaktis you are manifesting, it is Swamiji who's manifesting. We don't have any idea. If you open a tap, if you put a cup also, it will fill the water. If you put a bucket also, it will fill the bucket. The tap does not know whether it is a cup or a bucket. Like that, Swamiji will simply fill you when you have the deep trust and gratitude. All you need to create is empty your cup and be ready for Swamiji to fill you up. That's all we need to experience. That is such a blissful space and such a oneness space. You will be so delighted, so excited, elated, and in a bliss, you will manifest the powers. So this is what we are going to do. If you can make partners and sit as partners, that will be beautiful. You can have more than one partners also. 2 partners, 3 partners, anybody, just sit as a group. So whichever house you want to scan, that's perfect. Or a office or a remote place, that's fine. Now let's sit straight with a comfortable position. Don't lean on any chair, because when you lean, you are putting a weight on some part of the body. If you sit straight and see yourself at one point, you'll feel very light. So sit straight with your back, neck, spine, head and neck all in a straight line so that the Kundalini raises to your Agnya. Only when you're feeling light, it will start raising and back has to be straight. And slowly and deeply inhale and exhale to bring your restful awareness so that you can absolutely unclutch from the outer world. Deeply. And in the space of oneness, understanding that all this is a dream and unclutching from that, from the greatest truth that Paramashiva has manifested at many, contemplate on these truths so that the mind does not go anywhere else. Swamiji beautifully says, like Tom and Jerry, one side contemplate and one side you chant the Mahavakya so that the mind does not go anywhere. So chant the Mahavakya from your navel center, because you have your Agni Homa happening in your Jatagni in your stomach. So offer this great chant in that Agni for it to manifest as powers. Swamiji beautifully describes this. So let's sit straight, visualize Swamiji in your third eye. Constantly contemplate and unclutch from this outer world. Every thought, tell very clearly, this is an appointment with you and Swamiji. Nobody should come between. And just be in the oneness with Paramashiva, just melting as oneness. Deep trust and love and gratitude just will melt all your identity. And ask, Prabhu, please make me manifest these powers. I would like to see your presence in me. Ask, request, and experience the greater reality when you chant the Mahavakya as Ajaba Ajaba. Literally, you're being vibrating with the chant. So let's start the meditation. Mahadvait will now play the meditation for you.
We are more than a border. We are more than the language. Speak than the color of our skin. We are more than our gender and who we are. We are millions of voices. That is my love.
Just a minute.
See yourself as 25-headed, 50-handed Paramashiva, as eternally 16, youthful. Commit with Paramashiva. Only He exists. Anything else is delusion. Now, sit straight. We'll enter into the process. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour Let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Paramashivoham. Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vanni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vanni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Paramashivamam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivamam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivamam. 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 Paramashivamam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivamam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivamam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivamam. Paramashivamam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivamam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivamam. Paramashivaham. Nithyananda Paramashivaham. Nithyananda Paramashivaham. Nithyananda Paramashivaham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vanni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivaham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivaham. Nithyananda Paramashivaham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivaham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivaham. Nithyananda Paramashivaham.
So beautiful. Swamiji has given us Such a beautiful space. Please open your eyes and verify with others what Swamiji has revealed, and ask others what you have written down about their place or their house, what all things it has appeared for you, what Swamiji has shown you. Please share with others and mark whatever has got revealed. Life is a manifestation. Constantly, we manifest as our reality. That is the way the existence happens. Swamiji says so beautifully, the unit of us, Jiva, is I. The unit of Jagat, the world, is space. The unit of Paramashiva is manifestation. When we constantly manifest as Shaktis, we understand how the existential reality, the Sankhya works, the liberating cognition, the multidimensional cognition happens. So please go ahead, verify, and there's a beautiful space where you can share the Sri Kailasa Courtyard manifesting power. You can take a picture of what you have marked, and you can also take a video or a picture of what they have mentioned, and then you can post it in this group. All the Shakshi Pramanas we recorded in this group, Sri Kailasa Courtyard Manifesting Power Group, and we record all this for future references, how the Leelas of Paramashiva has happened and how beautifully Swamiji is manifesting through all of us, and everybody feels the presence of Bhagwan. So I kindly request you to take a minute to click on this, or you can copy the link and post your picture that you have made a note, and let us know beautifully how Swamiji has happened for you in your life today. Sharing is a very important part of our life, because only when we are sharing, when we are speaking, we have a deep listening to us. Because we have a deep listening when we are speaking, our understanding becomes our cognition. So enriching is one of the beautiful spiritual practices that Swamiji has given for us to radiate the state, space, and powers of Paramashiva, becoming the being of Paramashiva. Only by radiating again and again and making more of everybody understand the state, space, and powers, we become that. So please go ahead and share your experience, your manifestation that has happened in you today. And if you have any comments also, you can post it in that. So I'll give you a few minutes. Please go ahead and share in this link. Thank you so much for sharing. And when you share with others, use the Sri Kailasa Courtyard Manifesting Power page. This is a group where you can share what all details you want to share with all the people. 1,400 people are there nearly. And you can share the page with everybody so that they can also share it. And you can invite everybody for the next mandala processes. It's such a beautiful space that when we bring 10 more people to mandala process, we telling our experience and telling our power manifestation, the first time we are manifesting such great powers, even if it is little, understand very clearly, the seed of the banyan tree starts with one sprout. Doesn't mean that it will not be a banyan tree one day. But the first sprout is very important for the seed to happen as life. Same way, each one of us, when we start manifesting, we start sprouting with one small tip coming out and one root coming out. But once we become the banyan tree, we take the responsibility to create so many seeds. That is what Swamiji beautifully says about responsibility and enriching the world. So go ahead and share the page and invite 10 more people to register for next week, the mandala process. When you make that happen, you intensify your cognitions as Paramashiva, the reality. The space you are will make you manifest that reality for you. You can simply see it happen when you understand you have sprouted. All this power manifestation is for us to sprout into a new banyan tree. But when we enrich 10 more people for the next week's mandala process, we really grow into a banyan tree and enrich the whole world to experience that. So go ahead and enrich 10 more people with this power manifestation that you have experienced. And this Diksha, the darshan today, Swamiji's presence of God himself as reality for us. Also, I would like to share one more thing with you. The beautiful space for the kids. Your kids also can learn these great signs as part of Nithyananda Gurukul. So you can take this link down and join your kids for enlightenment study once a week for just a couple of hours. So if you could have a little time, a tinyurl.com/enlightenkids. Every week, the kids would be manifesting powers. The same session that you experienced now, every week is given for the kids and completely free. So if you'd like to register your kids, please go ahead and we will contact you. If you would like to be part of the kids, you can also join as Acharya Registration New. It's a beautiful space that Swamiji has created for all of us to have continuous education in the power manifestation science. So please go ahead and enroll your kids into Enlightened Kids. Such a beautiful space that Swamiji has given for all of us to experience the Gurukulam system that he has created. And everyday manifesting power happens after every satsang and morning and evening at 6 o'clock. So please go ahead, every day be part of the power manifestation session. So thank you, all of you. Such a beautiful session with all of you. Today was a beautiful day. So anytime we manifest powers or powerful cognition, the identity needs to be dissolved into the lotus sweet. So let's have a deep prayer for a few minutes. Let's visualize Swamiji Bhagwan in the third eye and surrender all these Shaktis and the powerful cognitions to Swamiji's lotus feet, and with a deep gratitude and humbleness. Humbleness is a less of our identity. That space of humbleness and gratitude the deep, thankful space for what we are experiencing, the ultimate reality, just like that. For such a simple way of experiencing this great truth. Swamiji, we thank you for every experience here, and we pray to you to make it as our existential reality. With deep devotion and trust and gratitude, we request you to make this as our existential reality. With that, let's end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you, each and every one of you who's in the session today. It was a wonderful time. And thank you, and Nithyanandam. If you would like to have any questions answered, please send the comments to the registrar and we will get back to you. Thank you, Nithyanandam.